This baby book launched yesterday, Tiny Tweaks Happy Life, and I am inviting some of my favorite friends online to share how they are tweaking their life in a way that makes it easier, lighter, and more joyful. And today I'm welcomed by Becky at Clean Mama, and I'm going to invite her on to join us. Get started. Jenny, I accidentally invited you because I fat thumbed it, so sorry. Oh, you were saying the wisest thing in Instagram was rude and deleted our live. So I asked you, Becky, the queen of helping us tidy our homes in a way that feels doable. What is a tiny tweak that you've made recently in your life? And you shared two that I thought were so impactful. So can you share them again?
Yeah. So the first one was just asking myself why I'm doing certain things. Like, does it have to be this way? Why am I still doing things like this? So one was online grocery delivery, which is great. And I still use for some, like one store, one big store that it makes it a less overwhelming. But the other ones I can go in and grab groceries and I actually enjoy that process. So that's one thing that I've done. And then the other one is I like to listen to podcasts, and I've been listening to them at like 1.7 or 1.5, but I feel like it's like rushing my brain. And so I've just turned them back to normal and just listened like I'm listening to someone in a conversation. And that's made a really big difference for me, just from a like you feeling like you're like that, and just kind of calming things down a little bit. So those are like two just little tweaks that I've made very recently. But
so I don't know if you ever felt this way, because I just did the same thing where I stopped listening to it so fast, because I found myself like listening to somebody on the phone and like, this sounds horrible. But then I'd be like, I wish I could listen on two. I was like, this is not okay. I cannot be listening to somebody on the phone at 2 times speed. Like, there's something, but we get to this fever pace, right?
Yeah. I have thought the exact same thing. Can't I fast forward this?
And I just thought, okay, it's time to slow down. I love that. And such a simple reminder just to slow down the fever pitch of our lives and enjoy it a little bit more. You talking about not doing grocery delivery anymore reminds me, I have a sick kid sitting on the couch, and I was like, I can order grocery delivery today. So thank you for that tiny tweak that you've given me.
You have to be able to use it when it works for you too. And that's where that tiny tweak comes in, is like, it doesn't have to be this big, huge thing. And next week I could be like, I might have a sick kid on the couch and be like, hey, I'm going to order this, and this, because I don't want to leave them and go to the store. So it's like, we have that power where we can choose.
Right. And sometimes this is the point of the book, is we just get so set in our ways. And I love what you said, that you've become a student of your life, because sometimes we do things just because we always have. And it's like, wait a minute, actually, this isn't serving me anymore. But then we say to ourselves, well, this is what I've always done. And you can say, you are allowed to change your mind and tweak your life.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I love that about the book, that it really gives you that freedom to make those tiny tweaks.
That's right. And it really does simplify life. Okay, so Becky, queen of helping us tidy our homes and take care of our homes in manageable ways, has there been a tweak that you've shared on Clean Mama that has just gone gangbusters with your community? They're like, oh my gosh, I never thought of that.
So this is the tweak that I've been sharing for years, and it's probably the one thing that like drove the most traffic to my site years and years ago, like 2009, 2010. And that was my nightly sink scrub. And so that's like something that I still do. And I always recommend people doing, especially if they're trying to get into a routine. And I am not someone that's like, oh, I love to clean up the dishes at the end of the day. This is great. So we all clear the dishes. We all put our dishes in the dishwasher, clean up the table, put the food away, all that stuff. But we make sure that it's kind of ready for the next day. And the way that I started to like kind of let my brain like close the kitchen for the night was to do the nightly sink scrub. And so it's just, I mix up baking soda with so a little box, it's 2 cups of baking soda. I put it in a mason jar. I've always just put like lemon and clove essential oil in that jar because that's a scent that I like, and stir it up. I keep it under my sink, and I take out a tablespoon or two a night, sprinkle it in a wet sink, add some dish soap, and then I have a scrubber, or like a scrub brush that I use just for the sink. But I don't let anyone else do that. That's my routine because I enjoy that quiet. It takes maybe a minute, 2 minutes, but it's kind of therapeutic to me. The smell, the clean sink. I like it done a certain way, and it's fine that no one else. No, I don't think anyone else really wants to do it in my house. So, but it's still my my little thing that I do, and sharing that with my community has always been something that resonates because regardless of where you stand on, or do you want to do the routine? What do you want to do? That's something that everyone kind of can gather around and be like, that sounds nice. That's something I can do. It costs pennies. I can make it myself. It feels kind of like, I don't know, like a grandma activity, and like it's old fashioned, and that's that's kind of how that works. I can't, like, online, the first thing that people knew me for was my DIY cleaning recipes. So I've shared hundreds of them. They're in my books and everything, but people love that, and that's a great way to kind of slow down. You know what you're putting on your counters, you know what you're putting in your sink, and it's nice to be able to enjoy like making something, and just kind of, and it doesn't have to be food. It could be something that you clean your house with.
I love that. And I think it's Angels Nodgrass says, yes, it's like a mental switch that tells your brain it's bedtime after you do it for so long. Exactly. It's like this little ritual. And I think we undervalue the little rituals that we do in our life that mark things for our body. Like as you're doing this, I'm sure you're feeling like, okay, now I can, my work is done. I can rest. And I love how these little tiny rituals, these tiny tweaks just become a part of the rhythm of our life and mark occasions. It's so cool. And I love what you said too, like you can make something and it doesn't have to be food, because there's probably somebody that's like, I don't really want to bake, but I will make like a cleaning scrub. And can I just say, if you have that gift, to share it with others and gift it as a gift. I always think we underestimate the power of those tiny little gifts too.
Yep, for sure. For sure.
Okay. So I've been asking everybody, because I think this is important, because oftentimes I talk about in the book, we do things on autopilot. We're moving so fast. I talk about a bullet train. Everything's flying by so fast. I love this idea that you talked about where we become a student of ourselves. But I know that you're doing this and you're kind of asking this question, but is there a question you always ask before you start something? Is there something that you think through?
Yeah, so I have like a mantra that I've shared online, and it's every day a little something. And that I actually trademarked it because it was what I told myself, especially when my kids were little and I was really overwhelmed and didn't have that extra time. It was like, it's okay, you don't have to do everything, but every day do a little something. And that, if it fits under that for me, that's kind of how my framework for decisions and doing things. Is it something, like, it doesn't have to be something small for me to do it, but how can I reframe it or make it easy and digestible and doable? Do I need to remove something so that this can take its place, or will this fit in with what I already have going on? I mean, there's so many. Some things are like little and it takes 2 minutes and it doesn't need a whole, like whiteboard to decide what to do. But there are times when there are things that it's like, that sounds great, but how is this going to fit? I mean, I'm sure that you felt like that with your book. Like, I would love to do that, but how can I make that fit? How can I fit that into what is already a full life? Is it something that we can do? So, I mean, that's kind of, if I could break it down and do something a little every day, a little something, I will probably be able to do it. If I can't do that, something else has to give.
That's
So
a really good reminder. Yeah, because writing a book, you've written four, right? It takes time to put that many words together. But I love that mantra of a little bit. Okay, say it again. The mantra is, so I get it
every
right,
day a little
trademark it.
something. Yep, every
Every
day a
day, a
little
little
something.
something.
Yep.
Okay, I love that. Such a good reminder. And I find, I don't know about you, but the hardest part of starting when you bike is the starting, like the
Yeah.
first pedal.
Right.
But once you get going, that momentum carries you. So it's that same idea for you of like just a little something every day. It keeps the
Yep.
momentum going.
Right. And I think that the other thing is like when we lose that momentum, then we're like, well, that I'm done. I can't do it. Like, guess that didn't work. Well, is there you can just start over every day. I mean, that's kind of like the whole premise for me is like every day is a fresh start.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a fresh start 3 times a day, like morning, afternoon, and evening. You can have a fresh start every hour if you want. Like it doesn't have like we're on a continuum, sure,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not always like a continuum. And there's things that throw us. Kids get sick. Like your house might be under construction. I mean, there's all different things that throw things off, but it's just realizing that you can start over and try again. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe that didn't work today, but it might work tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. And just like you said earlier in the live, becoming a student of our life and just being curious, like,
Yeah.
and then saying, okay, I'm going to try it again tomorrow. And if it doesn't work out perfectly, I can try it again the next day.
Right.
Again, I think we lose a little bit of that, allowing ourselves to just practice without being perfect all the time. And so I love that reminder. Okay, as we wrap up, because I know your time is valuable and I want to make sure I use your time wisely. What is a tiny joy that you're enjoying lately?
So it's winter and it's very, very cold. And I don't, I mean, I grew up in Wisconsin. I'm used to the cold. It's fine. But I'm not really someone that walks. I know that, Erin, you walk every day outside. And I walk on my treadmill. So that's
Yeah.
something that I'm just doing that. And then putting a little table on my treadmill. So if I need to answer emails, I can walk at a very slow pace, but just walking for like even an hour, just while I'm doing something, it's actually been helping with like my like working through projects just for
Mm.
whatever reason. I think it's the like the movement in the brain rather than just sitting
Mm-hmm.
is helpful for me. And then also like I have not like been someone that's been like an evening errand runner,
Mm.
and I've been doing that more, and I've actually kind of like it in when it's dark out, and it kind of reminds me like when I was younger, like my mom we would go out in the evening and go run errands, and for whatever reason, it feels kind of like, it's kind of fun. Like I can go to the store at 7, and and then it's just a little bit different activity, which works well for the long winters. And when it feels like it's 10 o'clock and it's only 6,
Mm-hmm.
like it helps me to kind of get out of that mindset that it's earlier than it feels too.
I love that, just a little bit of spicing up your routine, right? And it almost probably
Yep.
feels a little nostalgic for you, maybe even like, oh, just kind of exciting because it's different from your normal winter
Yep.
routine. I love that. Such a good reminder that the tiniest thing, even switching up when you do your errands, can bring you immense joy. And I love that you said that when you're working, that movement, that body movement helps you work through a project. That is really, it's going to make me think for the rest of the day. That's kind of enlightening.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that there's some kind of like a brain muscle connection. But I don't know. It's like, it also probably depends on your learning style too. If you're like a
Mm-hmm.
auditory learner, a visual learner, like how that all kind of plays. But yeah, I mean, I was a teacher, so I'm always like trying to like, I know you were too. So
Yes.
yeah, we've got all the tricks.
We're always trying to figure out the why, right?
Yeah.
That's why we do what we do. But okay, Becky, for all of you that are new to Becky, go over and follow. She will help you keep your house tidy and clean without feeling overwhelmed. One tiny tweak, one daily habit at a time. And Becky, this was a delight. I'm so
Thank
grateful for
you.
you. And thank you for sharing how Tiny Tweaks plays out in your life.
Thank you. I loved it. It's wonderful. Congratulations, Erin.
Oh, thanks, Becky.
Bye bye.